Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Enemy here, bringing you my review for Eden Zero, Chapter 76. And I don't know if this is a time where I need to apologize for being late on this one, but I mean it was Christmas Day, so I don't know how many people were even on YouTube, but I didn't. But it's one of those things where I didn't even realize that it was going to that it was even going to like he was gonna release. He was gonna release today. I thought it was going. I thought I thought Eden Zero was basically going on break. Was going on break or on the same time as in the same vein as One Piece and My Hero Academia. But I also forgot that 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 Eden Zero is a completely different like Shonen magazine. So yeah, I guess it wouldn't make sense. It would basically stop. It would stop publishing. It would go on break at the exact same time as Shonen Jump. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much the reason as to why this one's late. I got a little confused with the scheduling, I think. Um, but with that said, let's dive in. Okay, so first and foremost, my wish list for the kind of fight I wanted, for the kind of fight I wanted between Rebecca and Sylph out of this chapter was fulfilled and then some. Like the entire fight, it was both dynamic and intense with great aerial space choreography on top of providing amazing development for Rebecca, but by pretty much showing her using, but by pretty much showing us her using how she adapted to the situation of using her ether gear abilities in conjunction with pretty much her pretty much starfighter pod or whatnot, while at the same time not sidelining the side characters involved as well. Everyone from pretty much from basically Witch to pretty much Rebecca to Hermit to even fucking Happy played a part in this whole fight. Like pretty much no one, everyone, like the main focus of it was basically still on Rebecca, and yet at the same time when Mashima choreographed this fight, he still made sure that everyone had a purpose to play. Everyone involved in this fight still had a purpose to play, and I really liked, and I really liked especially how Hermit was involved in this fight because like I said before, like last week, she was the one who was providing a lot of the tactical information in order for Rebecca in order to match Sylph at every angle. And yeah, just again on a choreographical level, this fight, it gave me everything I wanted out of an Eden Zero space battle. And and the best part about this fight is that Rebecca still lost. Like even though she managed to even though she managed to, like, I guess, win the space battle against Sylph, she still ended up being captured by her. And I know that sounds like something weird to praise, but again, it builds on the idea that the Element Four are Draken Joe's top soldiers for a reason. If you go in unprepared or let your guard down even for a moment, you will lose. But it pretty much still did it without downplaying Rebecca's accomplishment either. Like both from Rebecca and Sylph both showed that, but both from showed they are competent fighters. Or and obviously the pretty much battle between them is going to probably continue next week. But yeah, it's like this. It was just a perfect battle for me. Um, with all that being said, let's talk about Rebecca being captured by Sylph, because one other thing this does is that it puts everything on even, like a lot of, like, what basically Rebecca being captured by Sylph means is it puts everything on even more of a time crunch than before. And whatever Rebecca's plan is to get out of her and Happy's wind prison, she needs to act fast, because Weiss, as we see in this chapter, he's not looking too good. Like, Weiss is basically, it looks like he's practically at death's door. And just knowing that makes me, it actually makes me realize something Mashima has really excelled at with Eden Zero, which is building the tension. Even if we know our heroes are going to get out of this safe and sound, in the end, it's how it's basically how they're going to get out of it. That's really the biggest driving force. And I feel Mashima has really executed the best in this arc, but by putting Weiss in the precarious situation he's in, on top of giving giving us all these great moments with the element 4. Like the element, like I said before, if you even for a minute let your guard down around the element 4, they pretty much will take you out. We basically saw that with Fee, and we saw it with Laguna. We saw it with Fee, and now we've seen it even more with Sylph now. Like Sylph, like Rebecca got captured because she basically let her guard down, and yeah, so it's and even though we know that in the end that they're all going to get out of these situations fine, it's basically building on the tension that, yeah, this is a situation where they can't let their guard down, and it's building and it's really building on even more the fact of what kind of that Draken Joe has of how Draken Joe has really earned his title as basically as one of the seven, like as one of the 6 demon generals. Basically, he basically knows what kind of people in order to surround himself with, and yeah, like it's one of those things where if this is the kind of manpower and strength that only one of the demon generals possess, imagine what the other 5 can do. It's kind of haunting, really, if you think about it. And yeah, let's talk about that, because let's go back a bit and talk about and talk about what we learn with that Rebecca with Rebecca having this sort of with the reveal that with Rebecca using her like ether gear in order to power her starfighter. We basically get the reveal through like Witch and Hermit say that because of what she did, Rebecca basically showed her potential as an Etherion master, and Etherion is definitely the key word in this, because I've really started to learn that every time Mashima uses that one word, it usually means something insane. Like he's basically used it already with basically what's behind that locked door on the Eden Zero ship, and we now have an Etherion master. The concept of Etherion masters, or just an Etherion master, and even if it's like something simple as a title like that, as far as like even if it's something as simple as that, it usually means something. He's got insane plans for a concept like that. Now, as far as what like an Etherion master is and what it could mean, I imagine like Etherion master is kind of like a Yonko of this world. Just I bet there's more than one Etherion master, and the Etherion masters themselves are a group who have gained enormous amounts of power through mastering their ether gear, and are well known throughout the Sakura cosmos. Now, as far as Hermit and Witch, obviously they would pretty much know this because they've pretty much traveled throughout the Sakura cosmos with Ziggy. But I'm also betting money that the other possible reason as to how and why they know this is that possibly Ziggy at some point had become one of these masters. I think that would make the most sense, because we honestly know it's one of those things where we know a lot about Ziggy, and yet at the same time very little. So if Ziggy was one of these Etherion masters, it would actually do a lot in order to kind of fuel his in order to add more to his his story and just what Prince Ziggy was and what kind of being that Prince Ziggy was like Prince during his travels through the Sakura cosmos. Um, Now, the one thing that kind of concerns me with this whole idea of the Ethereon Masters, however, is basically whatever that they pretty much may be, or whatever the title of Ethereon Master entails. Um, I'm it's is that with it's that with Rebecca having the potential to be one of these masters, I'm worried Mashima is in some way or another going to overextend his reach on it and say that from Shiki has the same potential as well, which would be badass. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, with this particular story beat, I want it mainly focused around Rebecca, because if more than like obviously there are already probably more Ethereum masters out there, but in terms of our main group, if if basically Rebecca is if Rebecca isn't the only one who within the group who has this potential, then I feel it's really gonna kind of imbalance the dynamic a bit, and and yeah, it would really, if more than one character is put on that same scale of being having that same potential within this group, then yeah, the dynamic is really gonna be off kilter and really imbalanced. And I want Watchmen to maintain at least some kind of balance here. So it would be nice if Rebecca would be the only one in order to have this kind of power. And if you don't, and if you have to have more than one in the group, then just stick to Shiki and Rebecca. Don't do everyone, or Shiki or Rebecca or Rebecca and Pino. I don't know. Just don't. I don't want to watch them overdo this one. That's all I'm saying. Um, and final thing to talk about is we see Maria's true form, and that's one of those times where I was both underwhelmed by her true form, yet at the same time that's kind of within the ballpark of what I was expecting, especially considering the kind of author Mashima is. Like, I. I didn't. I kind of knew that Maria's true form would like be that like chibi or small, but I didn't. I still wasn't expecting it, I guess you could say. We also see that Marie herself is now prepared to give up all the information she has on Drac and Joe to Ivory, and this is definitely the inciting incident that will give them even the slightest edge against Drac and Joe, because it has reached a point where anything they learn will help them survive, and so yeah. But with that being said, guys, that's all I've got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Analyst, or Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.